Global banking service provider by the name Leatherback has entered into a strategic partnership with the Yes Bank of India. The new deal will enable easier remittance and Indian rupee payouts in India for its users via its tech-driven platforms. Ibitade Ibrahim is a co-founder and CEO at Leatherback, and he joins me tonight on the show from London. Good evening and congratulations on this particular deal.
Thank you very much for having me. Good evening.
Thank you. Tell me a little bit more about this Yes Bank of India's deal.
It's been a long time coming. I mean, the deal has been in the works for about 2 years now. Being one of the very few African-related, UK-regulated banking service providers at Leatherback, we've noticed that major underserved corridor. I mean, between the African-Indian corridor, and it's something that we've tried to tap into for a while now. So we've been working with Yes Bank of India, which is one of the major banking service provider in India, to see how we can power payments to really stimulate trade and commerce across those two corridors. I mean, you'll agree with me that we've had generations of Indians across Africa and even in Nigeria itself that have established businesses and are major economic drivers of growth in the economy. So from automobiles to textile to hair products to medical tourism, which is a major aspect of trade between both countries or both continents. So seeing this, we decided to look for ways of providing solutions that can enable payments and remittance to be done seamlessly across both countries and both continents. So with what we've done now, it's with just a couple of clicks on our app. It's easy for you to collect local Nigerian naira or Ghanaian cedis or whatever, a couple of local African currencies where we operate, and terminate Indian rupees to India. And the same thing will also apply on the other end too. We're also making it possible for local Indian rupees to be collected for payment to be terminated over here.
Okay, so technically you're building a bridge between India, a subcontinent, and Africa. But what's the size of the transaction in terms of remittances turnover expectation?
I mean, the corridors, Africa alone did over $102 billion in 2022 with India. I mean, Nigeria on its own did over $10 billion in trade transactions, which was a drop because the year before it was about $15 billion. But because of the reduction in crude oil exports, that reduced to about $10 billion. So those are the kind of ones we're looking at when you're dealing with the remittance turnover and the potential that can be achieved. So with this, this is taking up any potential blocker that is there, and that means we will even be able to enable a lot more opportunities to enable seamless growth across both corridors.
You talk about a little bit of the deliverables for Leatherback there. What type of technology are we looking at here that enables that things go well at both ends and that the pipeline functions 24/7 without downtime, with security, the firewalls around it? Give me that in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, we're heavily regulated. We're PCI DSS and ISO certified at Leatherback. The deliverables for us are to make sure that the system stays up and ensures trades are completed with 99.9% uptime at regular intervals. We already have lots of our fintech partners already leveraging on this API since we released it, because we had it in test mode already, and it's proven to be extremely successful with 99.9% uptime. So we've been able to at least ensure that we meet up with our own requirements on that end. I think it's just for us to turn on the pipeline and for trades and payments to commence seamlessly.
Very interesting. Tell me about other deals you have in the pipeline.
Very interesting. We have a couple of that corridor is particularly interesting to us because right now we're launching India. Very soon we should expect to make announcements for Pakistan, Ethiopia, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. And before we started, now you're mentioning Egypt. Egypt is also a corridor we should be announcing very soon. So those are like some of the major announcements that we expect to roll out over the next couple of months or weeks, maybe.
Very interesting. You started the new year on a very bright note. Thank you so much. We'll keep in touch with you, whatever you're doing out there. Thank you. This strategic agreement between Africa and India subcontinent is such a very big one, and we appreciate what you folks are doing on the ground with the rest of your team. Thank you so much, Ibitade Ibrahim.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, the co-founder and CEO at Leatherback in London.